Somewhere on this Earth, right now, a supervolcano is breathing quietly beneath the feet of nearly 4 million tourists a year, and almost none of them know it. In another corner of the planet, a single migration of over 1 million animals is moving in a pattern so massive it shows up in satellite imagery. These aren't legends. They're facts about places that exist today that you can actually visit. In this video, we're counting down the 5 most famous national parks on Earth, one from nearly every continent. From the geysers of North America to the savannas of Africa, from the fjords of New Zealand to the darkest skies left in North America, each of these parks is hiding something most visitors walk right past. And the park at number 1 holds a distinction so specific and so quietly urgent that it changes how you'll think about protected land entirely. Stick around for that one. The idea of a national park is one of the more effective ideas humans have acted on. It's a simple promise. Some pieces of Earth stay untouched, permanently, regardless of what they'd be worth developing. That promise started in 1872, when the United States designated Yellowstone as the world's first national park. A template more than 100 countries have since copied in some form. Today, national parks and protected areas cover roughly 6% of Earth's land surface. Small-sounding number, huge in practice, millions of square kilometers of forest, desert, wetland, and coastline taken deliberately off the table for development. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, there are now more than 5,000 officially designated national parks worldwide. But these aren't just scenic backdrops for vacation photos. Researchers use these landscapes as living laboratories for ecosystems that no longer exist anywhere else. Indigenous communities have lived in and alongside many of them for thousands of years, holding knowledge no field guide has ever fully captured. And for millions of visitors annually, a trip to a national park isn't just a getaway. It's often the closest thing to an unmediated encounter with the natural world they'll have all year. The 5 parks on this list weren't picked at random. Each represents a different continent, a different ecosystem, and a fundamentally different relationship between people and the land they've chosen to protect. Let's start the countdown. Number 5, Kruger National Park, South Africa. Kruger stretches across nearly 20,000 square kilometers in northeastern South Africa. Officially established in 1926, though its protected status actually dates back to 1898 under President Paul Kruger, the park's namesake. Today it forms part of the Great Limpopo Transfrontier Park, sharing open borders with reserves in Mozambique and Zimbabwe to create one of the largest connected conservation areas on the continent. What sets Kruger apart isn't just size, it's density. The park holds an estimated 147 mammal species, 507 bird species, 114 reptile species, and more than 1,900 plant species. It's one of the only places on the planet where spotting all of the big 5, lion, leopard, rhino, elephant, and Cape buffalo, in a single day is a realistic, documented outcome for rangers, not a marketing line. Kruger's story is also inseparable from the people who lived there long before it was a park. The Shangaan, Soto, and Venda communities left behind rock art and archaeological sites still being studied today. And the park now employs thousands of South Africans while contributing billions of rand annually to the national economy. A rare case where conservation and local economic development actually reinforce each other. The park's biggest ongoing crisis: rhino poaching. South Africa holds roughly 80% of the world's remaining rhino population, and Kruger carries the largest share of that number. Despite armed anti-poaching units, drone surveillance, and international legal cooperation, The park still loses hundreds of rhinos to poachers every year, one of the most active conservation battles happening anywhere on the planet. Number 4, Fiordland National Park, New Zealand. At the southwestern tip of New Zealand's South Island, where glacier-carved valleys meet the sea, sits one of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. Fiordland National Park covers about 12,500 square kilometers and forms the core of Te Waihiponamu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Established in 1952, it remains one of the least developed protected areas in the world. Its defining feature is exactly what the name promises: fjords, carved by glaciers over millions of years, now filled with dark, mirror-still water beneath towering peaks. The most famous is Milford Sound, once described by Rudyard Kipling as the eighth wonder of the world. Milford Sound receives over 6,000 millimeters of rainfall a year, making it one of the wettest inhabited places on Earth. That same rainfall is exactly what feeds the hundreds of temporary waterfalls that appear on its cliffs after every storm. Fiordland is also a refuge for wildlife found almost nowhere else. It's home to the taka, a flightless bird declared extinct in 1898, then rediscovered alive in Fiordland's remote valleys 50 years later, in 1948. The park also shelters the Fiordland crested penguin, bottlenose dolphins, and New Zealand fur seals, alongside ancient beech and podocarp forests that have barely changed in millennia. What gives Fiordland its almost spiritual weight is isolation. Less than 1% of this region's land is accessible by road. Much of the park can only be reached on foot or by sea. The Milford Track, often called the finest walk in the world, runs 53.5 kilometers through valleys, rainforest, and mountain passes. For a lot of people who have done it, hike undersells the experience. It feels more like a pilgrimage. Number 3, Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. Every year, on the golden plains of northern Tanzania, something repeats itself that predates human beings entirely. The Great Migration, the largest overland wildlife movement on Earth, unfolding almost entirely within Serengeti National Park. No documentary fully prepares you for the scale of it in person. Serengeti National Park was established in 1951 and covers about 14,750 square kilometers. Its name comes from the Maasai word, Serengeti, roughly translating to the place where the land runs on forever, which, standing in the middle of it, reads less like poetry and more like a literal description. The landscape runs unbroken to every horizon: grassland, acacia woodland, and the rocky outcrops known as kopjes, each one its own small ecosystem. The migration itself involves roughly 1.5 million wildebeest, alongside hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, moving in a continuous clockwise loop across the ecosystem in search of grass and water. The herds cover more than 800 kilometers annually, crossing the Grumeti and Mara rivers in crossings where crocodiles wait in the shallows. An estimated 250,000 wildebeest die during this journey each year, from predation, exhaustion, drowning, and the population still sustains itself year after year. Beyond the migration, Serengeti holds one of the highest densities of large predators anywhere on Earth, an estimated 3,000 lions, making it one of the most important lion strongholds left on the continent, plus cheetahs, leopards, hyenas, African wild dogs, and more than 500 bird species. Serengeti was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981 and remains one of the most studied ecosystems in the world for exactly that reason. Number 2, Yellowstone National Park, United States. Most people picture Old Faithful when they think of Yellowstone, the geyser that's erupted with near-clockwork regularity for as long as records exist in the American West. But underneath Old Faithful, underneath the entire Yellowstone Plateau, sits something that reframes the whole park, one of the largest active supervolcanic systems on the planet. Established in 1872 as the world's first national park, Yellowstone spans roughly 8,983 square kilometers across Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, and draws close to 4 million visitors a year. It contains more geothermal features than anywhere else on Earth, over 10,000 hydrothermal features, including roughly 500 geysers, more than half of all the geysers known to exist anywhere in the world. Every one of them is powered by the same slow-pulsing magma system underneath. The wildlife matches the geology for scale. Yellowstone holds the largest concentration of free-roaming wildlife in the continental U.S., including around 5,000 bison, the largest bison herd on public land in the country. It's also one of the few places in the lower 48 where gray wolves, grizzly bears, and mountain lions all coexist in the same ecosystem. The 1995 reintroduction of gray wolves triggered one of the most well-documented ecological chain reactions in conservation science, a trophic cascade that reshaped river patterns, vegetation, and animal behavior across the entire park. Yellowstone's human history runs even deeper than its park status suggests. Archaeological evidence shows indigenous peoples have lived in the region for at least 11,000 years, and more than 25 tribes, including the Crow, Shoshone, Bannock, and Blackfeet nations, hold historical and cultural ties to the land. The National Park Service now actively works to incorporate that heritage into how Yellowstone's story is told. This land was never empty. It was always someone's home. Number 1, Jasper National Park, Canada. Everything up to this point, the migration in the Serengeti, the volcano under Yellowstone, the fjords of New Zealand, the rhinos of Kruger, has been building toward one park that most of its own visitors don't fully understand. Jasper National Park in the Canadian Rockies holds a distinction that's rare, scientifically significant, and easy to miss entirely if you only visit during the day. Jasper is the largest national park in the Canadian Rockies, covering about 11,000 square kilometers in Alberta. Established in 1907, it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984 as part of the Canadian Rocky Mountain Parks complex. It has the glaciers, the turquoise lakes, the ancient Engelmann spruce and subalpine fir forests, and the grizzly bears, wolves, elk, and mountain goats you'd expect. None of that is why it's number 1. Jasper earns the top spot for what happens after dark. In 2011, it became the largest dark sky preserve in the world, a protected zone where artificial light is strictly limited so the natural night sky stays intact, protected with the same intent as the forests below it. On a clear night, the sky over Jasper opens into stars, planets, and the Milky Way at a level of clarity most people alive today have simply never seen. Here's the number that makes that matter. Research on global light pollution puts roughly 99% of the population of the US. And Europe under skies too light polluted to see the Milky Way from where they live. Estimates suggest close to a third of humanity, over 25 billion people, has never seen the Milky Way at all. Not once. The galaxy containing our own solar system is, for most of the species living in it, invisible. Jasper is one of the last places left where anyone can look up and see roughly what people saw for most of human history. The Jasper Dark Sky Festival, held every October, draws astronomers, photographers, and travelers from dozens of countries for exactly that reason. telescope viewings, indigenous star knowledge presentations, astrophotography workshops, guided night tour. On the clearest nights, visitors report seeing the faint glow of the Andromeda Galaxy, roughly 5 million light-years away, with the naked eye. There's one more piece to Jasper's story, and it's the one that adds urgency. The Columbia Icefield, the largest ice field in the Canadian Rockies, sits within Jasper's boundaries and feeds 6 major river systems across North America, supplying fresh water to millions of people. Glaciologists monitoring it have tracked accelerating retreat due to climate change. The Athabasca Glacier, the most visited and most studied glacier in the icefield, has retreated more than 15 kilometers since 1844 and lost roughly half its total volume. Current projections suggest most of Jasper's glaciers could be gone within this century, taking a water source, an ecosystem, and indirectly, some of that dark sky clarity with them. Jasper isn't just the most famous park on this list. It might be the most instructive one, a place holding the darkness of the universe above and retreating ice below, asking, quietly, whether anyone's paying attention before both are gone. From Kruger's rhino conservation frontline to Fiordland's glacier-carved silence, from the Serengeti's endless migration to the volcanic ground beneath Yellowstone, and finally to the star-filled dark above Jasper, this wasn't just a list of scenic places. It's 5 working arguments for why protected land still matters. Every one of these parks exists because people once decided certain places were worth more left alone than developed. That decision doesn't renew itself. Every generation has to choose it again. If this was worth your time, share it with someone who'd want to see it, drop a comment with the park you'd visit first, and subscribe for more of these. The natural world isn't waiting for anyone to be ready.